Welcome to the channel. I was financially free by the age of 32, and today I'm going to be watching a video by Dave Ramsey on some financial advice, and I'm going to be reacting to it in real time.
So George, 30 years ago when I started teaching this stuff, I was first teaching people how to get out of debt, live on a budget, be generous, live on less than you make. So you have a plan, you avoid debt, you save.
So far, everything that he said to me is spot on. Be generous, have a spending plan, live on a budget, spend less than what you make. These all seem like really good things.
Money for emergencies and later for investing. And all of those principles work, but people kept saying, which one do I do first? And so I started laying out, well, you should do this first and that first. You should have an emergency fund before you start your 401k. And
I think a 401k is a horrible, horrible decision. 401ks are the biggest scam to Americans today. It's because all the money is lost in fees. You gotta take ownership of your money. There's way better investment vehicles than a 401k. That's my opinion.
And then I figured out it's easier to have an emergency fund if you don't have any payments. And so you need to get out of debt first. Because, of course, I learned my lesson the hard way going bankrupt. And
I don't think you got to get out of debt. I think you got to reduce your bad debt, but there's a lot of good debt. If I got out of debt before I started investing or making an emergency fund, I would have not made millions and millions of dollars over the last 10 years. So I think you got to identify what's good debt and what's bad debt. I don't think you got to get out of all your debt first.
Going bankrupt and getting out of debt and learning how important it was to be debt-free as a process, as a part of building wealth.
I also don't think debt-free is important. I have a lot of loans that make me a lot of money because someone else pays for those loans.
So all of that started to formulate after a few years of teaching in various settings and what became Financial Peace University. It used to be called Life After Debt. And it started becoming what we now call the baby steps. And the interesting thing is that now the baby steps have gone into the Total Money Makeover book, which has sold almost 10 million copies. And they have become the proven plan, the shortest distance between where you are now and wealth. Where you are, if you'll live like no one else later, you can live and give like no one else. What is the shortest distance? And we need a path to run on because the way you eat an elephant, it's overwhelming. Do I do my 401k with the match?
Don't do 401ks. They suck.
Or my kid's college?
Don't do college. The college system is broken. Okay, I love Dave Ramsey, but he's talking about doing 401ks and sending your kids to college. We know that the public school system is broke. They're forgiving everyone's debt now. And no one even freaking cares about your college paper. In fact, information is so abundant that the education, the way it's given, is just completely transforming.
Or do I have an emergency fund? Or do I pay on this 18% credit card debt? Or, and nothing gets done. You get paralysis of the analysis.
I recommend not having 18% debt.
Because you get frozen.
Absolutely. And this step, these baby steps have worked for me. They've worked for millions. And it's really simple. If you do it, they work. And it all starts with baby step one, having this foundation, saving $1,000 for a starter emergency fund. This is just a small buffer between
simple. If you don't have any money, I think saving $1,000 for an emergency fund is a great idea.
Between you and life before we start tackling the debt.
Exactly. And if you have $1,000 already, great. Just set that aside. That's your baby step one. Any money you have that's not retirement, anything you can sell that is not retirement, you're going to liquidate it. If it's not retirement, you got some stock over here that Grandpa left you. You got a gold bar under your bed. I don't know what it is.
That to me is crazy. Start to sell a gold bar or sell some stocks that your grandpa left you. Or, I think the idea of having someone else manage my retirement completely negates my responsibility with my money. We're giving away our power.
But you got any money that's above $1,000, maybe you got $10,000 in a savings account. That's $9,000 you've got that you don't need past baby step one. We're going to put it all on baby step two. And baby step two is the famous one. That's the debt snowball, where you list your debts smallest to largest. You pay minimum payments on everything but the little one, and you attack the little one with a vengeance. Side note, baby step one should not take you more than 30 days. Maximum. You need to work extra, sell some stuff, have a garage sale, put the kids on.
which I totally agree with. You can get $1,000 that quick. I mean, today with Facebook classifieds or whatever marketplace, you could literally find shit in your house, put it up there and sell it and get money out of the shit you don't use.
On Craigslist, whatever you got to do here. Let's get it done. And you know, we're going to get busted into this, get $1,000 quick. Baby step 2, you should be debt free, but your house, now you may have to sell a stupid boat. You may have to take an extra job. But most people that have followed the Total Money Makeover baby steps in Financial Peace University are debt free inside of 2 years.
Yeah, and that's with doing it with some gazelle.
I think it kind of depends on what kind of debt you're talking about. I agree. If he's talking this 18% or 24% Amex, get that shit paid off. His snowball plan works great in order to pay the bad debt off. That doesn't mean you should start getting rid of good debt that is leveraged and making you money. You just got to know the difference.
Gazelle intensity, like you talk about in Financial Peace University. And once you pay off all that debt, now you freed up all those payments, right? You have that income
Think
back
about
in
what
your
it'd be like
life.
to have no payments but a house payment. Wow.
We're breathing easy.
Or think about what it would be like to have a residual revenue of $1 million a year and not fucking worry about some of these payments.
And then we can move on to baby step 3, where we save 3 to 6 months of expenses in a fully funded emergency fund. This is the final buffer where we say we're never going back into debt because we are.
I like that concept. I look at cash though as an asset, and it's a percentage of my portfolio. So I always want to have about 25% of my portfolio in cash and or cash equivalents, like a cash value policy. So I don't really worry about, can I go 3, 6, 12 months? I go, okay, if I've got X amount of net worth, I want a percentage to be in cash. If you don't have a net worth, start with building up this 3 to 6, 12 months of having cash reserves.
Yep. We are the bank now.
Yep. Grandma's rainy day fund. Why? It's going to rain. Dave, you need to be positive. I'm positive. It's going to rain. You need to be ready when crap happens. There's a pandemic coming around every corner. There's something coming, and if you have $20,000 cash in the bank, 3 to 6 months of expenses, whatever it is, and you have no payments, you are the third pig in the 3 little pigs, the one that's in the brick house when the big bad wolf comes. You're ready for life. You're ready to go. Now you're ready to build wealth. But that you just now have gotten up to ground zero.
Because that cash sitting there for the last 3 years, inflation, we're starting to see the CPI come down a little bit, but still 5%. That means your dollar is worth 5% less today than it was 12 months ago sitting in the bank.
Just now have gotten up to ground zero. You've just now gotten up to even. When you have that emergency fund and you're debt free, now you're ready to build wealth. And in baby step 4, you put 15% of your income aside into good growth stock mutual funds in.
I agree with 15 to 20% of your revenue going into investments, but not mutual funds. 96% of all mutual funds, they fail. They're not winning. In fact, the S&P 500 outperforms 96% of all mutual funds. You can just put it in an index and do better than that. Now, these strategies of investments that he's teaching you are maybe 8% at best per year. That's not really great growth. I want to think 20%, 40%. Some of my investments are over 100% rate of return in a 12-month period. That's triple digit, man. I ain't going to get that in a mutual fund.
Retirement plans. Start where there's a match. Beyond the match, always do Roth. And if you've exhausted Roth and match and still are not to 15%, then go on to a traditional.
This is great maybe if you are a 9-to-5 or W-2 that is taxed at the highest tax rate. You got to get a business started and you got to spend money pre-tax. What he is teaching you to do is be middle class.
401k or IRA. But do Roths before traditional and do match before Roths. It's mathematically in your favor to do that, up to the 15%. Don't do 20%. Don't do 11%.
I do 20%.
Do 15%. While you are doing baby steps 4, you're also going to be doing 5 and 6 simultaneously.
Absolutely. So baby step 5 is where we're saving for our children's college fund.
Dumb. Do not save for your kid's college fund. In 20 years from now, college will suck worse than it does today. Now, I recommend you actually purchase a cash value whole life policy on your child and start funding it now. Because as they grow older, that policy is going to be worth $14 million cash value in the future. It's going to be ridiculous. It's going to be worth so much cash value in the future. But if you're putting it into a college fund, bad decision.
And this is going to look different for everyone. There's no set number here because it really depends on your situation.
Did you have the baby last week, or is the baby 18? That makes a difference on how much you need for college, right? I mean, what you got to do for college. It's like, is this an oh crap moment, or hey, we're going to be diligent and save? Did we wait almost until too late? Now, they have to go to college debt-free. They cannot participate
Or don't go to fucking college because college is stupid.
in this epic student loan system failure that is called America right now. It is horrible out there. Do not let your
It's horrible because college is giving worthless degrees. So don't even spend money on something that's worthless.
kids go in debt. You do not have to go to debt. Go to community college for free for 2 years. Go to in-state school, work 6 jobs, get scholarships. Our student loan problem is a parenting problem. Mom and dad let kids sign up for crap they couldn't afford. Bad mama, bad daddy.
It's also a fucking business of college problem that we are just taking advantage of Americans right now in the college system.
You got to have the conversations. That's where it starts. And
So-
there's a reason you say baby step 4, invest for yourself before the kids, because there's a 100% chance you're going to retire. There's a 50-50 chance or less these days that your kid's going to go to college.
And graduate.
Yeah.
Yeah, this less than 50% chance they're going to graduate. So this is important. So while you're doing 15%, you do whatever you need to do for your kids' college, whatever you decide to do for your kids' college. Beyond that, if you can find any money, you do that on baby step 6, and that's pay off your house.
Dumb. Right now, I've got a mortgage on my house at 3.25% for the next 30 freaking years. Why would I pay that off when inflation is at over 5% right now? Inflation is higher than my interest rate. It's free money. Move that money into something that's going to get you 20, 30, 40% return on your investment.
Start chunking on the house. Now, when you're in 1 through 3, you are so intense, your friends are freaking.
Look, here's the reality with Dave Ramsey. He's going to help a lot of average people turn out average with their money. If your goal is to be average with your money, follow what he's saying. If you want to be extraordinary, I'm talking financially free, multiple 7 figures, and you want to have multiple 7-figure revenue in your life and 8-figure net worth, then you got to do it differently. You got to take responsibility for yourself. Thanks for watching. We'll see ya.